Hey guys, Sam from Hot Mess Homeschool Mom here again with you tonight. I know it's been a couple days since I put up some videos. I've been doing an awesome giveaway on my Facebook page, so I was kind of preoccupied with that for a little bit. But some of the comments I got on some of the curriculum I posted on my personal page as well got a few comments, and I figured it was time to finally do a review on one of my, another one of my favorite publishers and programs called The Logic of English. So as promised, I'm gonna kind of just dive right into this. First, before I do that, I just wanna show off this really cool t-shirt that my friend Wendy made for me. If you can see it, I love it, I'm obsessed with it. I'm so excited to be wearing it tonight. So, just wanted to show you guys that. Very psyched about that. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right into my Logic of English review. Now, real quick, this is going to be probably one of a 2 or 3 part series. Logic of English has a couple of different programs, and I'm using them with both Lovey and with Little Dude. So I'm going to kind of break that up a little bit. I'm going to do the programs that Little Dude already did, which is our Foundation series, A and B. There's also Foundation C and D, which he is now moving into, and also the Essentials program, which I'm using with Lovey. So there's a lot there, and Logic of English has this really cool multi-part curriculum with all kinds of different little supplements and stuff that comes with it. So I kind of want to make sure I give each separate one its own due diligence and show you exactly how they work and what you get. So first, before I do anything, I want to share the book that I had been sharing with some of my friends and called Uncovering the Logic of English by Denise Ide. Oh, sorry. I still don't know how to pronounce your name. You would think I would learn after reading this, but you know, as you'll learn, it could be either or pronunciation based on the sounds that the English phonograms make. So, Denise, if you see this, please feel free to correct my pronunciation. Anywho, so this is really where you should start if you're going to look into this curriculum, because it's a nice little read. I put this on my professional development shelf. This is a really good place to start, especially if you have a child that was previously in the public school system and you are now thinking of using this program, and we're not a big fan of sight words, the Dolch sight words, or the way in which they were taught to read. And I'm hearing that it's a common theme. There's also a really cool New York Times article that was just written about that, about how phonics is scientifically proven to make better readers. And anyway, read that article. It's fantastic. Just look it up by the New York Times. It's an opinion piece, but it's really well written. And if you actually go to the Logic of English Facebook page, they just shared it. So anyway, look at that article. So this is in reference to that. And this is a great place to start as a parent about what English is exactly, and how to teach it as a powerful tool rather than as a hindrance. So really, it's a quick little read, and I'm sorry, I just had a notification flash up, so that's what that finger was. This is a quick little read. It is not light. It is not light reading. I had to sit down with this and really kind of process it myself, and really make sure I understood it before teaching my kids. So I don't want to say it's a quick, easy read. It's not. It's a quick read, and it's a fantastic read and very knowledgeable or educational read, but it is not light. However, the tools you will get from starting here are invaluable, because if you have a good grasp on the English language, then you will pass that on to your children, obviously. So start here. You can find it on Amazon. You can find it on the Logic of English website. I believe Barnes & Noble. Anyway, pick this up first. So start here. Now, as far as the Logic of English program itself. So I'm just going to show you this really quick. This is their little infographic. They send it to you every time you place an order. If you would like a copy, please feel free to comment below. I'd be more than happy to send you. I have quite a few of these, so if you want to kind of look it over first, it's really helpful, and it lays out how each of their programs works, what levels you would be on. So today I'm going to cover foundations A and B. I will do another one on C and D, and then essentials, which is another program in and of itself. So these are based not only on, I guess you could say grade level or age, but on ability. So you can actually take a test and see where your child would fall. Obviously, they recommend starting at foundations, which is where little dude has started. He started with Logic of English right from the beginning and has learned to read in the last year just off of A and B alone. However, if you have an older child that you pulled out of public school, you can either choose to go back to foundations or go right to essentials. And it's a multi-level reading, spelling, grammar, and vocabulary. Oh, so for ages 8 to adult is the recommendation here for essentials. And then for foundations, complete phonics, reading, handwriting, and spelling program for ages 4 to 7. So what really hooked me here is one, it's a complete set. It's, phonics, reading, handwriting, and spelling. I mean, you get a lot of bang for your buck. And it's all in one package. You don't have to buy multiple, different books for spelling or phonics or whatever. It's literally all in this one curriculum, which is fantastic. And for teachers like me or moms like me that want simple and easy, this is pretty awesome. They also have rhythm of handwriting. We chose not to go this route. Again, I referred back to my copy work plan in a different video. I just chose to use that. They have a full rhythm of handwriting where it does improve your child's handwriting. Fantastic. And I have not used it personally, but really anything by Logic of English is fantastically well made. So you cannot go wrong here if you choose to research this and go with this. And then there was one other thing. I don't know that's actually in here. Sorry, just bear with me. Oh, here it is. Yeah. So I mentioned this to a friend called Sounding Out the Sight Words. And this is great if you have a child that was taught to read using sight words, and then you can now use the Logic of English way to phonetically break down those Dolch sight words so that they're reading them, I don't want to say correctly, well, correctly. So they're reading them phonetically and they're reading them correctly rather than memorizing a picture of a word, which is what a sight word is. And the science behind that is all in that Logic of English book I was talking about. But the reason sight words don't work and learning phonetically does work is because as they get older, they will learn harder and harder words, obviously, and they need to be able to decipher how to do that. You can't look at, I'm going to just throw a random word out, XBL, whatever that word is from Mary Poppins, that one. You can't actually sound that out using a sight word. You actually have to break it down into pieces, into the different phonograms to read what that says. So, and that was a very drastic explanation, but the science behind that is here. How to rewind, how to go back and reteach your child to read if they have come from the public school system, how to read those sight words phonetically. So that's a really good place to start as well. If you're looking, if they currently are in public school and you just want to give them a little bit of assistance and you don't want to do the whole program or you don't have the time to do the whole Logic of English program, super helpful here. So I recommend that. So I'm going to jump right into, I'm going to try to not make this video super long. I was advised to try to make my video shorter, so I will do my best. There's a lot here. So with the Logic of English Foundation set, there are 4 books. I'm only going to show you A and B today, but all of the levels will look like this. You will get the teacher's manual, sorry, my hair, teacher's manual for each of the levels, and then the child's workbook. Now, you'll see up here, there is manuscript. They also offer this in cursive. So again, there's another study that says children learning to write in cursive first, even before they learn manuscript, actually do better. Again, my little dude was actually in preschool for a couple of years. So he did learn some of his letters, but manuscript style. So when I first started homeschooling, I kind of was like, I don't want to rock the boat too much. Let me stick with what he might know with the manuscript. I kind of wish I had gone back and done cursive because really he would have just picked right up with it and ran with it But you live and you learn, and we'll pick up cursive at a later point, kind of probably where we are now at with Lovey. So anywho, you have a choice. You can pick manuscript or cursive, and the accompanying cards and whatnot that I'll go over in a minute, you can also pick either manuscript or you can pick cursive. So there's that. So you get the teacher's manual and the children's workbook. So I'm going to go over A really quick because A is pretty basic, and obviously it's a good place to start. So foundations, you get a scope and sequence for those of you who are into that kind of thing. I am not. Like I said, I lesson plan the day before, or not even the day before, sometimes the morning of. And I really just want to pick up the book and where we left off last, and based on where little dude is in his mood or what he's willing to actually sit and work with me on, I want to be able to just pick up the book and keep going. You can use the scope and sequence, again, to your liking. It will break down what each lesson covers, and you can do it that way if you have it together and you like to plan your things out. So lesson 1. So just so you know, this is very, very, very basic. And where it starts, and some things I hear online is that it's almost too basic. But I like that. I really, really like that it starts from the ground up. And what language is, all languages, is sounds. And how we put those sounds together is how we communicate. And you'll know that from picking up other languages. Different accents and whatnot mean different things. So in the English language, our phonograms and whatnot, they make different sounds. And now A does not always say A or ah. And it'll tell you all of the different sounds that they make and whether they are what they call voiced or unvoiced. Like, for example, th and th. So th is unvoiced, th is voiced, where you use your voice box. And there are some exercises in here that are fantastic that help your child learn that their voice box is actually, it changes the meaning of a word if they're engaging their voice box, and that there are different sounds that have voiced and unvoiced. So to really make that a priority right up front was not only cool and really kind of caught little dude's attention, but it caught my attention too, because honestly, I didn't know that, or never thought very much about it. So there's that in the beginning. So when you open these up, I have a really cool new toy coming at some point, and I will not be having to do this, hitting myself in the head with the book soon, but for now, bear with me as I try to read sideways. So the one thing I love about this is it's almost scripted, and it is scripted, so you can actually go through with your child and script it out. So there's no confusion either with you or with them. It tells you exactly what to say and how to say it, so that they're learning all of these different sounds. Like, for example, now say f and how are they the same? My mouth is the same for both of them, but one is voiced, one is unvoiced. You know what I'm saying? So it will actually explain this all out for you, which is fantastic. Then you have handwriting, which again, I will pull out more of the different pieces that go with this. So there's handwriting. They get compound words, so you're compounding words right from the get-go, even before they can read. Rainbow, you know what I mean? So they're realizing how different words kind of stick together. Let's see what else. Then they're learning the swing stroke. They're learning the different pieces of the different letters of the alphabet. And then it goes on to lesson 2. So it'll tell you what the objectives are, phonemic awareness, handwriting, and then what materials you need. And this is what I'm going to get to in a minute. So again, just so you can get a little bit of a feel for what these lessons are. They're pretty short. We didn't have a problem getting through a chapter a day with little dude in the beginning. Once we started getting into B, and again, this just could be my kid, but his attention span wasn't always all there, so we would break it up. And with this, you can do that. You can break it up into little chunks and get through a lesson, however your child needs to get through it. So I like that. So it's pretty self-explanatory, voiced, unvoiced. When you start getting into other lessons later on, you're gonna start getting into phonograms, the beginning of words. What else? So there's games in here too that your child can play with you, involving the phonogram cards, which I'll go over in a minute, and how to use them. So here it tells you to use doodling dragons. Again, I'll show you that part in a minute. So it'll tell you where and when to use all of these different supplemental things to add to your lesson. So when we get to the end, they should be able to do basic words. Cat. Some of this he knew. Some of it brand new, brand spanking new. Cat was probably a sight word, so he knew that one. But you know, bend, he didn't know that one. He didn't know bend. Sand, probably not. In between lessons, again, very similar to another publisher I wrote. There are review lessons in between every couple of chapters. I don't know exactly how many between these chapters, but they're there, and it will tell you if they have mastered it, or what to do if they have mastered it, what to do if they haven't mastered it. So there's phonemic awareness, handwriting, phonograms, reading, and that kind of thing. So that would be a review chapter. So that's the teacher's manual. I sit down with this right in front of me, go through the scripted as he's going through the workbook, or, you know, we'll pick up the workbook where it tells us to. The Foundations A manual, you can see, it's missing some, and I'll show you why in a minute. So this one might not be the best one to show you, but I will. So this is kind of an example of where we started. It's really colorful. It's happy. You know, the lessons are pretty short. You can choose to do the handwriting practice. The reason that you don't see it filled out in the workbook, and this is where I we'll start pulling out the extra stuff, is because we actually did a lot of it on the board that comes with the kit. So this is the Logic of English whiteboard. Highly recommended. For some reason, some children are not comfortable writing on paper, and that's okay. It's so much more fun with a whiteboard. And for some reason, they just want to do it more. At least my kid does. So a lot of our exercises where it would ask for this, we would just go straight to the whiteboard, and he would do it on the whiteboard. And I actually have videos of him doing these. So like the handwriting practices, a lot of them were done, especially early on the whiteboard. So again, lesson 2, handwriting practice for lesson 2. As you can see, there's not a lot of worksheet pages for each chapter. A lot of it is just the back and forth with your child. Like you would have to blend the words together. He didn't actually have to do anything, you know, written on this, but the lesson in here was to compound, like rain, boots. So that's pretty much it. Now the reason that half of this book is missing, nice little chunk missing out of there, is that they make, hold on a second, they make the last couple of pages readers that you can put together. You just staple them. They rip them out and you staple them. And then actually this one he put together, he got to glue the pages together, which he really liked. So the readers actually come in Foundations A. I don't know if that's changed. I don't know if they actually make the readers separate now. You might want to look into that, but when I bought it, you actually had to pull the readers out and make them yourself. For level B, which I'm going to get to now, for level B, that is not the case. The workbook is the workbook, and there are no rip out pages. Same idea, same setup. You get the teacher's manual, you get the workbook, and vice versa. So you can see he's making his way through that. We are almost at the end of B. For some reason, the last couple of weeks, again, because of co-op, co-op has been a really, really awesome part of our lives lately, and I've really, really been focusing a lot of that. I know we're getting a break coming up, so not necessarily that I've slipped off doing these with him. It's just that it's on the days we have co-op, he's not doing this, so we're not flying through chapters as quickly. Again, I'm not concerned. He's now reading. He's now grabbing readers on his own to do, so that's kind of what I wanted. The program works. So you can see, like, for this one, he's now using the pages. So this was an earlier lesson, so, you know, he's He's copying it out. So that is B. Now with B, I'm going to start getting into the supplemental. With B, you get these. And now they actually offer additional ones on the website that I bought, that I printed out and did as well. But you get the readers separately. So he made his way, and it'll tell you level B, you know, the hardness level. So his favorite right now is, I can almost tell you, you can tell it's very, very well loved. This one is his favorite. He always grabs this one. So, but he can read all of them. There's not a single one in here he can't read. Now, just to show you, quite a farm. Sorry, with my finger again, all the alerts. I probably should have put it on silent. Quite a farm. He can, you know, at 6, these are not sight words, guys. These are, you know, legit, like, they're legit words. It's not it's not dog, it's, you know, they're legit words. Not that any word's not a legit word, but you know what I'm saying. He's actually having to sound it out. So this one I really like. Time to bake. He's learning the silent E. Liz sifts the flour. You know, he's not the right egg. So using the phonograms and putting them all together, he's able to decipher or decode harder words than whatever Lexile or whatever it's called, Lexile reading level he would officially be on. I don't even know what Lexile reading level he's on because I don't necessarily really even care. I just know if he picks up a book, if he can't figure out a word, he's not going to freak out. He's going to sit down and try to pick out the word or the phonograms he does know and put it together like a puzzle, which is what you want. So there's that. And then, like I said, there's extra ones because we started to get bored of the same readers. So I printed out a couple extra ones. And this is level B, guys. This is, you know, this is level B. We're not even on C and D yet. So they are reading. What was the one that was, there was one that we just did. Oh, the sale box. So this one took us a little bit to get through. He doesn't mind reading when he sees a lot of the words. I think he starts to get ahead of himself, like, oh my goodness, you know, that's a lot I have to kind of try to figure out. So we broke this into pieces just because there was a little bit more content on each page. But again, you know, level B, and we still have 2 more levels in just the foundation series alone. So really, really good content there. So those are the readers. In addition, you get these lovely, well, sorry for keeping the short video, but you guys, I really want to show you guys this stuff. So you start getting these are the phonogram, these are the basic phonogram cards. So you'll get the flashcard. There's one thing, Logic of English, if you're listening, please make your flashcards a little bit tinier. Trying to find a box for these is like trying to organize them is ridiculous because there's some, I don't know off the top of my head, some very strange size. I would really like them to be a little bit smaller so you could like stick them in one of those photo organizer boxes. Just for my OCD and my sanity, please make them a little bit smaller. I would love that. Other than that, they're perfect. The content's great. I just want them a little bit tinier. Anywho, so like ch, and it'll tell you on the back what sound it makes. It makes the ch sound, as in butcher. 3-letter ch used after a single vowel that is not long. So you're getting spelling rules in there. You're getting how to sound it out and what the phonogram is called. So this is called a 3-letter ch. And there's also, so a lot of the English language is the same sounds. They're just spelled differently. So as they get older, they'll learn those special spelling rules as to when to use which phonogram, such as here. But for now, Logic of English names them so they're easily recognizable and more easily remembered to the kid. So there's ch. Oh, here's another. So I guess we were learning the ch sound recently. So this one is ch, sh. So as I'm doing this with my kid, if I'm forgetting, it's on the back. Ch, sh, as in child, school, chef. So CH can make these 3 different sounds, and all of these are like this. And there's advanced phonograms. I mean, they go all the way up. So I can tell you right now, this is 3-letter I, just because I know it. 3-letter I, as in night. 3-letter I used only at the end of a base word or before a T. That's when you use a 3-letter I. E-double-E. So there's a whole bunch of them. You'll see these are ng. So I'm just giving a few examples. A, I know this A is an A that can be used at the end of an English word because English words do not end in I, U, V, or J, so I can't use AI. Didn't know that. As an adult, this is the stuff I'm learning from the logic of English. My child now knows that you can't use AI at the end of an English word because English words do not end in I, U, V, or J. He's 6. So this program works. I live and swear by it. Oh, here's your AI. May not be used at the end of English words. So there's that. So, for example, so then you get those, but then you also get, like here, vowels. So this says ah, o, oo, as in on, go, do. So O does not always say O or ah. Says 3 sounds. My favorite, Y. So Y says yeah. Well, it also says I-E, as in yard, gym, buy, baby. And when you can use the Y, etc. So did you guys know that? I didn't know that. I learned that through Logic of English, and I was taught phonics as a kid. These kids that are learning sight words, that there's no chance that they're getting all of that or when to use these different spellings by a sight word. So I and Y are very similar. They make the same sounds. It's just a matter of priority. So I says I, E, ya. See? So, I mean, that in and of itself speaks volumes about this program and how simplistic and easy it is to teach your kids all of these weird spelling rules. English isn't really that strange when you break it down and you learn all these rules that they have. It's just a matter of when and where to use them. And all of a sudden, you realize you didn't know English as well as you thought you did. So, there's that. So, as far as the rest of the additional material, sorry, I'm all up in the camera. You get these really cool little books that are handy. It'll tell you when to pull them out. Doodling Dragons. So my son actually calls this Dragon School. We call Logic of English Foundations. I'm like, you ready to do Dragon School, dude? And he loves Dragon School. So this is why we call it Dragon School. And these are just the supplemental books. This is the different phonograms and the sounds they make. Just an example. Let me see if I can find the I one. Yeah, because I comes before J. Oh, sorry, I. Wow. Can you tell it's late? I comes after G. I-E. Sorry, this whole backwards thing is killing me. I can't wait for my toy to come. I-E, yeah. Minnow fins, violins, diving kites, biking mice, nectarine, trampoline, stallion, medallion, and how these words are used based on the different sounds and the phonograms that the letter I makes. So these are supplemental. They come with the package. If you're buying the package and you're buying the set of A and B, these come with. It also comes with, so when you're learning to write, it'll show you how to actually, I'm not going to do too much. So again, it reinforces the sounds it makes, but then it'll also tell you how to write it as well. And you get a stack of those, whether you're doing cursive or, what's this, manuscript? Sorry. It's starting to get late. I want to say this is, manuscript. So this is the manuscript set. I want to say they also have Danielian, possibly, I don't know. They have different fonts you can check out depending on what you're using. From my understanding, I believe Danielian is it's another font that is supposed to be easier to read, and I know off the top of my head I can't think of the program it's used with. I did some research into it before I went with Logic of English, but look into that if it's something that you're struggling with writing with. Look into Danielian. So then just a couple more things it comes with as far as the A and B package. So you get this if you want to put it on your kid's desk. It's kind of cool, you know, like the things you see in public school. It also comes with a spelling analysis quick reference card. I use this as a bookmark. It teaches you how to finger spell. If you want some information on finger spelling, fantastic videos up on logicofenglish.com. Awesome. Teaches spelling and how to spell really well to kids. Phonogram and spelling rule quick reference is a really handy tool. My kids refer to it often. Again, we keep it in the back of the book. I'm not going to go crazy going over it. It's literally a cheat sheet for everything that is in Logic of English program, whipped out at it on a little handy reference chart, should you need it. And then last couple things, and then I promise I'm done. I'll show you the one we have open. We purchased so many things from the Logic of English, and all the kits come with different stuff. So I actually have green cursive. These are the Phonogram game cards. We're only using one set, so this is the blue book face. So they come in different kinds. So we have that. The one we have out right now, or we're using right now, is the red manuscript. So you do not need 3 sets of them. Again, I just purchased because I have essentials for Lovey, etc. So we just ended up with all these. But these are you can play different games, and it'll tell you how to play different games within the book itself to use these flashcards. So as you can tell, we're big on flashcard games here. It's a really cool way to reinforce whatever they're learning in a fun way, and I like that Logic of English uses that. Again, I have multiple sets of these as well, so I'm not going to pull out I have a box like this to keep them all in. They break apart, they're perforated. You can put magnets on them. I've seen people put magnets on the back of them, but this is what they look like, and they're tiles you can piece together to make different words. So I think I've pretty much covered everything that comes in the Logic of English kit. I know, it seems like a lot. It seemed like a lot to me too when I first got it, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much stuff. How am I gonna incorporate all of this? But again, it's a, play-by-play in the book itself, in the teacher's manual, really self-explanatory, really open and go, and just here's what you do. And it works, it really, really works. And I'm so impressed by what little dude has been able to learn and retain over the last year. And just hearing him sound out different words that, in all honesty, when I was helping my daughter learn how to read when she was in public school, it did not feel this easy at all. And so that's just my personal opinion. But again, teaching this as a new homeschool mom, sometimes more is more. It's not always less is more. In this case, you get all of the tools to help you. And the Logic of English has apps that you can also download with the different sounds. Oh, this is cool. So like just circus, here's another weird English rule. They have apps you can pull or use on either iOS or Android, I believe. And teacher resources on their website, which is really cool. I didn't utilize any of these, but they're there if you want them. But Denise does some really cool videos on teaching how to fingerspell and the different pronunciations and different ways you can foster your growth as a teacher. And they're free. They are free. So there's a little, if you can get up in there, free online resources. Feel free to use those even if you're not a homeschool mom. So I hope I pretty much covered it all. C and D, I'm going to do a review on them and do a flip through on them. I just got the box the other day, so maybe I would do like a unboxing. I haven't used them. Just by the success I've had with A and B alone, I know they're going to work. And I'm going to get through all the foundations with little dude. I can't imagine it not working. But I can't give my personal opinion as to how we use them or whatever. If the lessons are longer with my son's attention span, we might have to break them out even shorter. Not really worried about it. We'll adapt as we need it, but excellent program. Definitely worth looking into. It is a little pricey. You get it's a little bit of a sticker shock when you first open it up and you're like, whew, how much? I know my husband was like, how much? But that being said, they do give discounts. There are discounts. You can look in the scratch and dent. They have a lot of those. Sometimes you can get a really good deal on scratch and dent, and they're really not that scratched or dented on anything I've ever bought on a scratch and dent anywhere. And you have to remember, when you're buying these packages, you're getting 2 levels. So essentially, 1 level should take you a year, which it basically did for us. It would have if we weren't year-round homeschoolers. Again, that kind of messes everything up for us because we get through like a level and a half, but whatever. But you're getting 2 levels, so 2 years. And you are also, not only that, but you are getting phonics, reading, handwriting, and spelling. So if you were to buy different programs for each of those on their own, you would probably spend not only that much, but probably more, because I can guarantee you the big box set that I keep referring back to, which was oodles and oodles of money. I had different books for phonics, reading, spelling, but I didn't have handwriting. I didn't go down the handwriting road yet because he didn't know how to spell, or read. But for those 3 alone, I had 3 different books, which drives you nuts. How do you juggle all of that? So anyway, Logic of English. 1 subject a day, or bunch of different subjects in 1 slot per day, and you can just get it all done, and it all ties together, and they all reinforce each other and whatever they're learning in that lesson. So that's my little spiel on the Logic of English for today. As you can tell, I'm somewhere different today. I'm actually in my kids' schoolroom, and right after I'm done with this, I'm going to do a fun video, my classroom, but as you can see, that's the Harry Potter theme, so stay tuned for that, and it has how that ties into my homeschool. Anyway, if you guys have any questions or comments or concerns or anything, please leave them in the comments below. I'm really curious to hear what you guys think about this. Any tips you have, anything you want to see more from me on with the Logic of English. Also, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, because I really appreciate the support. And also check me out on Facebook, Instagram at hotmesshomeschoolmom.com. I will make sure to include all of my links down in the description below, because as someone told me, my name is really long and really hard to find. So I will be more aware of that. Make sure I make it easy for you guys. So again, like and subscribe to hotmesshomeschoolmom.com. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great night. Hope you liked the video.